The Queen. She is in a difficult position. He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room.
Don't trust either of them. I don't know Honora well, but I know enough to be sure she has her own ambitions in this.
My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic.
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. I'm Riordan, Senior Warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
My thanks. Because there are two sorts of people in this house. Those loyal to Hal, and those loyal to me. If Hal's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy. Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or anywhere else. Her father would never stand for such a thing. What?
Sir Catherine! Praise the Maker you're here. This brigand tried to kidnap me.
Unbelievable. Bring them down! Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive!
Something is coming.
I still remember my last battle.
Get on then! Attack!
Eamon, I may have done a terrible thing.
What's this? She throws her savior to the wolves, and now she has second thoughts?
What in Andraste's name has happened? Are you all right?
The wardens have been captured.
I'm still waiting for a reason not to slit her throat and toss her in the river. I haven't heard it yet.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free her.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Catherine will take her to Fort Draken. Getting in will be no small feat.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry. I've been worse. I'll be better still when we get out of here. Who do you think will come? Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Draken all alone. I hope you're right.
And what are you supposed to be?
We, sir, are performers from the Antiva City Circus. The famous Broma Brothers. Surely you have heard of us.
You don't look like brothers.
How can you say that? Are your eyes failing? Look at us, we are twins. Not identical, of course, but twins, nonetheless.
I'm the pretty one.
Right. So what are you doing here?
We're a comedy act, of course. Taryn Loghain hired us. Said morale was bad here.
And from the looks on your faces, I'd say he was right.
Well, wait over there. I'll get the captain. Never said anything about any circus freaks.
There. Not so difficult, was it?
Yeah, easy for you to say, elf. These clown pants are riding up something fierce.
All right, what's this about? We are the famous Broma brothers of the Antiva City Circus. Surely you're expecting us. We have traveled here at great expense to perform here at the particular request of Tenham.
Never heard of you.
What? Do you hear this, brother? What kind of uncivilized country is this? We have performed for archons and empresses.
And children and pets of all ages.
To have traveled such a distance as a personal favor to Logain, only to be turned away at the door by some uncultured soldier? Unthinkable. Oh, for Andraste's sake, fine. Go perform in the main hall, I don't care. Why didn't I take the post at Lothering?
What's the point of putting ballistae inside the fort?
Some officer probably thought it was a good idea.
We may want to rethink this.
It's just one officer, by a room full of guards, in a fortress full of them. What could go wrong?
On it. And this is where we dispense with charm and subterfuge. These guards will know we have no business here.
Now we play a little.
Ah, my dear Warden. Did you miss me?
Thank the stone. You won't believe what they wanted me to do to get you out.
I am led to understand that the Canary have their own mages as well. Is this so?
You would not understand.
Not understand? Is it mental capacity that you believe I lack? Or are you worried I will sympathize with my so-called brethren?
Take your pick.
Is that supposed to make me angry?
It means I find myself wishing that your people held proper, civilized attitudes towards magic.
That is a rather hostile thing to say.
And yet you continue speaking. Astonishing.
So, are you going to continue staring at me as if I am covered in eels?
Eels would be something.
Prudery. How charming. I expected paranoia. This is much better. I prefer to be stared at lustfully, if at all.
Keep trying, then.
Oh? Then shall I demonstrate an act or two, and you may tell me hot or cold?
I'll save time. Cold.
You are a tease. So, have you changed your mind, Stan? I dream about you and I, if you must know.
You would, even if I were interested in a small thing like you. The Kunari Act is unpleasant.
Unpleasant? Unpleasant how? Now I really am interested.
Deadly.
And what if I didn't mind? I enjoy a little animation.
You'd be less animated afterward.
It sounds as if I am arousing your passions already, my dear Stan.
Parshera, why do you pester me?
Because 'tis amusing, that is why.
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. You're the youngest Kuzland, aren't you? Probably looking for coin or men to take your Tenham back then. You're better off asking the Darkspawn. They hold West Hills now. Shouldn't you be dead, then? How quick did you cut leash and run at Ostagar? No matter. I've nothing left for you to take, Grey Warden. Not even my sons. You're wasting your time here. What do you think happened? Did the Blight escape your notice? War claims the young and strong first, and Plague doesn't care about skill or bravery. There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway.
May I help you? This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head. Loghain? What does my brother have to do with him? A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. You're Bryce Cousland's youngest, are you not? I thought I recognized you. Take this. It's been in my family for generations. Let it be a sign of the friendship between High Ever and Waking Sea. Let me know if you want some of my bowmen when you take back your Tenham as well.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. After your rather alarming lack of subtlety, I feared the worst for you. I prayed for your safe return. Well, what did you expect me to do? You announced me to my father's most trusted lackey. Did the purpose of my disguise entirely escape you? I barely managed to slip away from her when we reached the palace. I am hoping that, despite our unfortunate beginning, we can still work together. Will you hear me out? We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset. Which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your...
We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lass, and very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
I'm sorry for my outburst. I saw House standing there, gloating. I lost it and I attacked him. I swear to you, I've never felt such hate towards another being. I wanted to see him dead in a pool of his own blood. I wanted him to suffer. And I wanted him to die. I feel such a heavy weight lifted from my shoulders. I know what I did was wrong. A knight should never lose his temper. Please, leave me alone with my thoughts for a little while.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I realize that my actions at Howe's estate may not have painted me in the best light. For that, I apologize and hope that we can start again. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Howe did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Cailan knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. I have ruled this nation on Caelan's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. What say you then? Your support for mine in the Landsmeet? He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. This is in addition to Highever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point. That is good to hear. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me? Then I wish you luck, Warden.
You seem so deep in thought, my dear Sten. Thinking of me, perhaps? The two of us together at last?
Yes.
What did you say?
You will need armor, I think. And a helmet. And something to bite down on. How strong are human teeth?
How strong are my teeth?
Qunari teeth can bite through leather, wood, even metal given time. Which reminds me, I may try to nuzzle.
Nuzzle?
If that happens, you'll need an iron pry bar. Heat it in a fire first, or it may not get my attention.
Perhaps it would be better if we did not proceed.
Are you certain? If it will satisfy your curiosity.
Yes. Yes, I think it is best.
I don't want any trouble. I'm just on my way to the dock. Someone's coming.
You're really so worried about this plague? Go home. Crowding around here is what will make you sick.
I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Helped them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy? What's wrong, Shem? Did you get bored and decide to come watch the elves die of plague? Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian? These foreigners have taken dozens of elves into that house over the last few weeks, and none of them have been seen again. One of them was our Haran, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back. He's the elder, the person who guides us. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's important to us. You can try. Those guards mean business.
I ask you to stand back. Some of these people are carrying the plague. The alienage is not safe for visitors.
Who?
Is that one of the patients in quarantine? You cannot enter there.
For your own safety, we must ask you to leave now.
Is there something else you wanted? There's a side entrance in the alley. It's got only one guard. Make her protect you, stranger.
No, you can't go inside just for a moment. So you might as well walk right back around to the front doors. You shouldn't be out on the streets now anyway. What with the plague? Look, this is how things are. I didn't make the blight or the plague or anything. I'm just trying to make a living. What's worse, dying of the plague or dying of hunger? I'll take my chances with the plague, thank you, if it means I get paid. I've been hungry. The novelty's worn off. Not enough to put up with all these questions. What do you want? $6. Sure. I never saw you, and you never saw me.
Who's there? Stay away! I can't say nothing. Please, just go. I don't want trouble. All right, I saw them take everyone. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Baker, the little one's crying. Through the landlord's old office. They go in there, they never come back. I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules. Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities. You simply fought your way in here to ask questions, did you? You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. You Fereldans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals? So I should feel kinship for these sheep? Don't be a fool. I am Tevinter first and a servant of the Minrathu Circle second. Those are the things that matter. But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more. Let us finish this then. I intend to see you pay for the damage you've done here.
I am Caladrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about. One can hardly get a word out of the Regent besides Warden these days. It's surpassed even gold in popularity. Yes, you would be curious about that, wouldn't you? I've heard that you're trying to erode Logain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help. Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Logain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Guaren upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
I suggest you look those elves in the eyes before you agree to have them hauled off to slavery, my friend.
I feel dirty. We're not considering this, are we?
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes? Interesting. Oh, no, that won't do. These elves are worth... Well, the entire trip isn't profitable without them, I'm afraid. Have you anything else to suggest? No, I suppose not. I've always been too optimistic for my own good, it's true. Let's do this the hard way, then. Men, shall we?
That's right! Enough! Enough!
It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender. Wait! Hear me out, dear lady. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you. So, is my offer of interest to you, yes? Then, I don't suppose you would consider just letting me go? Ah. Well, that is a shame, isn't it?
You don't look like a Tevinter. Not that it means much. Are you one of them? What happens to us now? Shiani? Did she send you here? Praise the Maker! We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone, let's go home.